I have a, yeah, well, it's a medical condition. I've learned that I apparently have this condition that is called misophonia, where certain like oral sounds, like people chewing with their mouth open, or just like cracking their gum or something like that. It's like in general, I think a lot of people agree they find those sounds annoying, but with me, it's like I'll spiral into like a rage, like I can't handle it. And John,
angry think without thinking. He's like, I'm just gonna rip your head off, man. Sorry. It's just the noise. It's just
yeah, wow. It sends me into like a Tourettic like fit.
Hi, my name's Christian Lee. I'm here for Earworm, and I'm here with. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Pat,
Robbie,
and I'm John.
All right, and how you guys doing today in this fine city? We have a really nice backdrop.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It's gorgeous out here.
Well, we've been on the road for a while. We just, I think it was like show, I don't know, 30 or something like that, and we just about to complete the whole country. But this is the first time we've really seen the Pacific Ocean up close in like a long time, so it feels pretty good.
That's awesome. And so yeah, it is wrapping up like near the end of your guys' tour. You guys are pretty much finishing up the West Coast part, right?
Yeah, I think we have 7 shows left. It does feel nice to be on an ocean, from Miami. We've been trudging through the snow for months now, so it feels really nice. Feels like we're back at home a little bit.
Yeah, very much so does.
All right, and how's been the tour so far?
It's been incredible. It's been awesome, honestly. We've had an amazing time. We've met so many incredible people. We played at much larger venues this time. I mean, it's been an amazing experience.
Yeah, the crowd sizes have been much larger, and although it feels kind of like the natural progression of things, because if they're not getting bigger, then things are not going right, But we still try to take for granted just how many people are coming out to our shows tonight. We're playing San Diego tonight, sold out crowd for like 650. Yeah. It's like our second time ever playing here, and all these people want to come. That's incredible.
Yeah,
come on.
Feels good with the new record too, because this is like we did our fall tour before, but this is kind of the bigger, the main tour for the Modern Animal record, and it's cool to see people come out and like know the words, and it's like a relief.
People aren't booing the songs they don't like and cheering the songs they like. They like it all.
All right, and let's talk about the new record a bit too. So I've been listening to you guys' music for a while, and I can see like a clear progression, and like the sound's been evolving too. And so how'd you guys figure out the sound for this record?
I think we're trying to stay true to what we've been doing for a while. I think also the music that we're listening to nowadays influences, how, if anything, our sound is going to evolve to the next level. I don't know, Pat, you want to expand?
Oh yeah.
Love the sounds, great sounds.
I can speak. Robbie can speak more about the songwriting and stuff. I can speak more about maybe the textures and like the sounds that are on it, but it's definitely very much built off of a lot of it. We had a pretty sweet situation for a while, like in Little Haiti, which is like kind of north of Miami-ish. We had a studio there that I was working at, and we were able to get in there all the time, and I was able to experiment with a lot of crazy blown out drum sounds, and there were just a lot of synths. We don't own that many synths ourselves, but there were a lot of like analog synths lying around, so we got to kind of tinker and kind of go that direction a little bit more, like No More Orchestra, Tame Impala, like crunch and grit, and some more of those in between colors. There's a lot of like crunchy guitars and all that too, but I think it definitely it ended up synthier and with like a bigger sounding like rhythm section than maybe some previous stuff of ours because of that.
It's not an intellectualized thing either, like it is 4 years of making a record, and just like you throw 1,000 sounds at the wall and 100 stick, and that becomes the record. I think anytime you go in there being like, we're gonna make it this song, you're gonna be cutting corners, you're gonna be hacking it. It just doesn't become honest good music. So instead, you just see Pat all night in the studio tracking like one measure bass line and constantly changing it because it's not what he hears. It's not like he was like, I'm gonna do this Jamerson thing. You just keep working at it till it's exactly what fits the part, So I definitely wouldn't say it's a preconceived idea at all.
No idea what we're doing. That's true.
Okay. And so you guys been in a band for I think 6-7 years now, right?
We've been touring for about that long, but together I think.
I would say our first gig is probably in 2011 or 12 together, right? So near on a decade, fellas. Yeah.
It's getting there.
Wow.
Pat's turning
You can see
30
the
this
joy in
year,
his
so,
face.
because Pat's about to turn 30, I almost turned 30, but he's not excited about it like me.
I'm the youngest member of the band, actually.
Yeah, 17 right here, right behind a band.
Okay, and I want to talk about that time in the beginning too, because I think you guys first started performing together at Barracuda, right?
Mhm, Barracuda Bar. Yep.
Shout out to
And
Barracuda Bar.
Shout out to Barracuda. And so, what can you guys tell me, like, how was it like first starting out playing at that? Because I think you guys were just playing there constantly, like every week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Friday.
Yeah, it was Robbie's gig, and he had a rotating cast of people, but me and Pat were the ones that kind of stuck and formed the band. But it was mostly, I think we wanted to so we could drink for free on a Friday night. Basically, they would just keep giving us free beer. No, sorry, I was 21. Barracuda Bar. I realized we shouted out the bar. Yeah, edit that.
Correction.
Shout out Barracuda Bar, not serving underage people in 2010. But we would just go and they would keep giving us beer if we kept playing. So you just play like 4 hours nonstop, and some nights it'd be a huge like sorority crowd. It'd be super lit. You feel like a rock star. And the stage was only like 4 feet by 4 feet, but other nights you're playing for like the barflies. You were passed out in the bar.
There was a crowd that was really, the built-in crowd that was really there for it. Like we never rehearsed, and we played. We had a deep catalog of Sublime covers and like random hip hop covers and things that Robbie had kind of polished over the couple of years he was doing his one-man band thing. And like, I don't know, it was just always great. Like, in retrospect, there was always people standing right up against us watching us and like jamming. It was probably maybe 10 people, but it seemed like there was a crowd there.
The stage was 8 inches tall.
It
They would
really
just
was.
wheel out. Well, eventually they got that little platform they'd put us on in the corner,
To move a gigantic round table every single time. There was
Feel it.
this giant
Wooden
Push
table,
it,
yeah.
like a Flintstone style,
from like a massive like one piece of wood, or it was like this crazy table that I remember that we always had to like flip it and lean it against the wall, and then we'd set up in the corner, and we played like that for how long? For like
3 or 4
And sometimes there'd be people eating at the table.
Oh, I get you. Yeah.
And you have to like very kind of like politely be like, hey,
I'm not your server. I'm
Yeah.
playing music in the exact location you're
Yeah.
eating your burger right now.
Sorry.
So we gotta change this right now.
And so I want to talk a little bit more about the beginnings too. And so, you guys are called Magic City Hippies. And before that, you guys were self-titled band, Robbie Hunter band.
Yeah.
But I think for a time too, during like when you guys were gigging at Barracuda, I think you guys were called like for like some point Robo Hunter. Right?
Yeah.
Wow, you know the real shit.
I like
well,
that.
so because it was so informal in the beginning, and that's part of the success of this band is we always started this to like have fun and goof around. If we were very self-serious about it, we probably would not making good music, right? But the idea was literally it was the three of us in the end, and Robbie had this little tip jar, right, with the little whiteboard on it, and every night Robbie would invent a new band name, some of which I can't say aloud, in 2020 at least. So we would just make one up every night, Robo Hunter, whatever came to us, Robbie and the Kids a lot, but that was a good one. The Butt Honey Orchestra, that was safe for work, right? Then that just really speaks to like the impetus of this. I was talking to my friend the other day who's trying to start some creative projects, and when you get a little older, creative projects are like this hard thing to do with like intent, and you find 3 people and like we're all very seriously going to start a band and rehearse all the time, versus like we were just like having a bunch of fucking fun,
Right.
It
It has to be born from like having a good time for it to be, less serious, and then kind of like the seriousness kind of creeps in once you start to realize like, oh, we're recording music, like, oh, we're getting bigger gigs,
Yeah.
And so it's a very organic, natural process, I think, born from beer.
Okay.
Hold on.
Bottle on date.
All right. I want to dive a little bit further back too, and let's go with Pat. All right. So what can you tell me about this old band called the Scuba Ninjas?
Oh, what? It's crazy. You got like a Nardwar vibe. Well, the Scuba Ninjas, I actually just caught up with my guitar player from the Scuba Ninjas from my high school. That was my high school band that I played bass in, actually. We were the Scuba Ninjas. I think we got that from an episode of C-Lab 2021.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Isn't that band?
Huh?
With that DVD that was in the castle for a while of you playing
No, that was my first band. That was from like 6th grade. That was a band called 4FN. But yeah, no, it was me, my buddy Chris, my buddy Tommy, and we never really had a permanent like lead singer. We had our buddy John singing with us for a little bit, but Yeah, we were Scuba Ninjas. I used to play like a Warwick, and I was like overplaying like a ton of slap bass. It was probably really obnoxious. I just wanted to be like Flea so bad. But it was great. Yeah, that was my high school band. Yes.
Okay.
It was still funky.
Very funky. Okay, I see where you got your roots from then. Okay, and I don't want to leave John left hanging too.
Do you know one of my old band's names?
I actually have a video.
Oh my
God. What? Oh, hell yeah, this is Arborist.
Yeah.
So I was in a bunch of bands in high school. This was one of the most fun ones. I've never seen that video before. So I was in a metal band called Arborist. I was in a ton of bands, and I got offered to play bass in a metal band, not knowing how to do it at all. You know, you'd play in drop C, which means you just make your instrument sound way lower and heavier, and I would just kind of like, you know, try to match what they were doing. It ended up being like one of the most fun things I could ever do. And in retrospect on stage, it informed so much of my performance. Now you guys see like kind of wide stance, like we play like indie funk, but sometimes in my mind I'm like, you know, in like a death metal band still, you know. So can't believe you found it. Can you send that to us? I would love to see that. That's at the YMCA, by the way.
Some facts right there.
Wholesome.
Okay. And before I move on to the next question, I have like a little bit of a quick one too. You know, because I was listening to Modern Animals, great, you know, production and everything. I was wondering if you guys have like any producers that you guys look up to or are inspired by.
Gosh, Pat, do you have any producers that
You know what, I only listen to our own music. No, I mean, there's certain things that there are probably more obvious influences on it. Like obviously, you know, the entire world is pretty impressed with Kevin Parker from Tame Impala and what he's done with kind of bringing like live drums into the new decade. You know, like, I just think no one's produced like live drums in a way where they compete with trap and all that. You know, just kind of fused all that together. Just as a rhythm section like producer, he's just like the man. So I love you know, Tame Impala, obviously. I love Ariel Rexshade a lot. You know, we've been listening. I think one of the first things me and Robbie bonded over, like when we first started playing together at Barracudas, we were listening to Contra had just come out, that Vampire Weekend album. And that wasn't even Ariel Rexshade, but then that got me into Vampire Weekend. That was the Rostam but Manglish. But then, 2 albums ago, he started working with them, and that Haim stuff and everything. Just like all these guys have kind of a knack for crunchy, you know, gritty stuff that is a little bit off the beaten path and just feels really good and has some stank to it. And Mark Ronson, I love. You know, yeah. I could name a few.
The guitar shit. Blake Mills out here on the West Coast is like pretty legendary guitarist producer, man. Oh yeah.
Sean Everett. So Blake Mills and Sean Everett did the Alabama Shakes stuff, Sound and Color, and Sean Everett did. I don't think Blake Mills was involved, but he did Brittany Howard's solo record. Right, the lead singer has a solo record. And that's the type of shit where they got like Nate Smith, this crazy session drummer, to come in and play a drum set made completely out of snare drums with chopsticks, and then it ends up sounding just like huge. You know, so I love like people. You know, you're not necessarily just miking up a kit and getting a solid sound. It's like inventive and it's kind of like surreal, whatever. Yeah, I could go on, but yeah.
Wolfpack might be one of the last ones. With the Wolf Presser, throw that shit on our music, you know. We love the way they do DI stuff. Almost all of our guitars are DI, you know, and they just nail this sound that, you know, we've used a couple of songs as references when working on our own music too, so.
Use the Wolf Presser too.
Yeah, we bought it, man. It's not a crack, don't worry.
All right. Well, it's been a fun interview, and I thought, you know, before I end it, I'd give you guys a few gifts. All right, so let's see what we have in this bag.
What?
All right. Well, you guys talked about Tame Impala, so I thought I'd give you guys a live version of their album.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Okay, you guys talked a little bit
That's their
about
live compilation.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You guys talked a little bit about Mark Ronson. So I got Amy Winehouse, Back to Black.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is the OG.
Yeah.
What's the rule of threes? What's the third one?
All right. This one's a little bit underwhelming, but it's another big producer that you guys like. But you didn't mention it, actually. It's let me open this. Taylor Swift's album.
Hey, that's right, Max Martin, Beast. The Beast.
This is nice.
God.
Yeah, so good.
We should work with her people, make something that feels like this. This is great. Hell yeah, man. Thank you
That's
so
awesome,
much.
dude.
But I
Thank
actually
you.
have one last gift.
Oh.
And I heard this is I think during your times at the Barracuda, or like when you guys were first starting out, It's actually a Freebird 45.
Oh my god! Oh my
We were
god!
talking about this the other day. We were like, it's been so long since we've been really heckled. Like now it's positive heckles. It's at least it's people being too enthusiastic. But I was like, man, I'm so glad we don't get Freebird yelled at us anymore. That was the dive bar thing. That was literally tuning up between songs. Freebird! That is legendary.
The jukebox at the Barracuda bar was like the type that would be like a Freebird yelling crowd too, you know. The rest about like my red Solo cup and like getting fucked up. So that's the beginning of the night, but the end of the night just Freebird all night. So this means a lot, man. It's great.
It was like cold beer on a Friday night. That's like come on right after we finished playing like
Like a biggie.
yeah.
All right. And I wanted to end the interview on a fun question too. And you guys known each other for a long time, so I was wondering, you know, do you guys have like any pet peeves about each other?
Oh my god!
None. Do I have to do each of them?
Sure.
Should I hold this? What are you holding right now?
There you go.
You know, Pat just plays the drums too good and Robbie sings too pretty. You know.
Oh come on!
No, what you gotta say about me, Rob?
I would just say I'm just gonna turn the question on its head and say I'm just very impressed that we're able to tour for so long and not rip each other's heads off because we do love each other somehow, and it's just a beautiful thing. So
Tell me about the mouth noises.
Yeah. Everyone's dodging it.
You gonna bite the bullet?
John chews, you know, stuff like that. I also don't like bananas at all. There's always like banana peels all over the dashboard of the van.
Let's got a list. Let's keep our
There's,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, that's it. I'll stop there.
All right, that's good. All right.
Just chew with your mouth closed.
Alright,
That's
you
it.
bad boy.
Okay. Well, thanks for taking time to do the interview, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Of course, man.
And you know, to end it off, I thought, you know, I'll give you guys some time. I'll hand you to Mike Robbie, and you guys just plug anything you want to say or anything you want to shout out. It's your time. There you go. Just hold it right there.
shout out to Spencer Bateman for
being a good friend and OG manager who took this space shuttle and made a launching pad
Yes.
for it.
And our current manager just had a baby girl.
yeah. Shout out to little baby hippie.
Our whole team. We got Mike, our tour manager over there,
Shout out to Mike.
hitting on Pat's girlfriend. Wait, Mike, what are you doing, bud?
What's going on over there?
No, but you know we got about 2 weeks left in the tour. A lot of it's sold out, but not all of it. So if you guys want to catch us in Santa Fe, in Phoenix, in Austin,
Nolans.
Dallas,
Finishing up with the Palms tomorrow, and then we're bringing our good friend Maye on the road with us.
Yeah, really excited to start playing with Maya.
the last day of tour is on February 29th in New Orleans. Leap year day. It's gonna get weird. It's gonna get freaking
real
weird.
weird.
Yeah. So
Mardi Gras
come to that
season.
show.
Yeah.
And Mardi Gras just ended, so it'll be lit. Oh, yeah, I think that's
Awesome.
it, y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Cheers,
it.
guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.